Welcome, Vigo's Court. We're back for another amazing matchup. I'm your judge, Judge Vader, and I am joined by the lovely Counselor Shep.
Hello, everybody. How you guys doing this evening?
Oh man, I'm actually feeling better today. I know I was not feeling as great yesterday, but today feeling better. So for sure, I'm excited for this match and not having to deal with sounding kind of like this, all congested and stuff. So like definitely, I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that you're feeling better, and I'm also excited to watch this game today. These are two teams that I really enjoy watching and have really enjoyed watching throughout our season. So I'm excited to see how the games go today.
Me too. Like, definitely, this should be a really fun one to watch. Both Wrecking Crew and Demise have kind of gone through here pretty well. I think Wrecking Crew only has one loss right now, and I think Demise is actually one of our undefeated teams. So definitely,
Yeah.
These are both teams that are really trying to compete for those playoff spots.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see. These are both teams that have shown they have the ability to perform very strong. But considering that Demise is one of our undefeated teams, it's going to be interesting to see. I think there are two trains of thought on how you handle that coming in on the other side, like as the opposition. So I'll be interested to see how Wrecking Crew decides to handle this particular challenge.
For sure, yeah, it should be interesting to see. I think that Wrecking Crew has a chance to come over and pull off the kind of upset, if you will, over Demise, but I think it is gonna be tough for sure. I'm still waiting to get the invite from our killer though.
Yeah. If you guys are watching and you haven't sent the invite yet, send the invite. I mean, we're on delay, so you guys aren't going to hear that. But who do you think? So who kills first today? It's Demise, right?
So we are gonna have Demise killing first as Wrecking Crew's the home team. Also, okay. Can I go ahead and shout out? We actually do have a rather bigger name in Twitch here in chat. Here, we've got Umbra in chat. So shout out. Welcome on in. Is it your first time watching Dead by Daylight competitive? Gotta know. But definitely, yeah, let us know. But for sure, I think Wrecking Crew will be surviving first here, so should be interesting to see how they can deal with Demise's killer. Demise has come out and really shown they're strong on the killer side, so should be interesting to see.
Yeah, this is gonna be definitely a tough game. Having watched Demise play the past couple weeks, this is not going to be easy for Wrecking Crew, like you said before. It's going to be a very hard fought battle, which is why I'm excited to see it. I feel like I get more excited for when like our undefeated teams are being faced by the other teams, the other not undefeated teams, because I feel like the quote unquote underdog is going to fight so hard, and that's what makes the games so good, because no one has disappointed me yet. Like, every time we've seen a match where it's a team up against one of the higher rated teams in the league, it's always a really good game. So I'm really excited to see what goes down tonight. And what do you think? What do you think? Like, how do you respond to a really strong team like this?
I think for sure you want to have a strong performance coming out on the survivor end. And, let's go ahead and review what map they've been practicing as well, because that is going to affect some of this, right? So for sure, the map we're going to today is Wrecking Crew's home, which is Groaning Storehouse. Groaning Storehouse can be it's a pretty balanced map, but it can be survivor sided if you knock out those gens in the right order. Definitely other leagues treat this kind of as Nurse's home turf. Like Nurse performs very well at Groaning Storehouse. So I think if Demise wants to go ahead and make a statement as to say, no, we're taking this win, like starting with the first trial, I think we will probably see a nurse here. Otherwise, if we don't see a nurse, I think that maybe Demise kind of checking the waters and seeing Demise would indeed kill last as well, so they would have a chance to hold the nurse until later. But it looks like I'm getting invited by Ultra right now, so we'll be getting started here soon.
And I do want to note that this is going to be our first week back onto the Macmillan set of maps. We were unable to play on them before because of desync issues. So week 5 is actually the first time where a lot of teams actually get to play on their real home map. So just be aware, for those of you who have been with us the entire time, you're probably going to see some new maps come into rotation. This is the one time that is going to happen, is this week when we are switching maps back to the Macmillan estate. Thank God.
Yeah, definitely. I know for myself, I really have not liked playing on Fractured Cowshed with We Overslept. No, pretty sure not. No, I'm sure the teams that played against us didn't like it either.
I cannot tell you how absolutely over Disturbed Ward I am, and I've only been playing on that map for 2 weeks, so I'm like.
Definitely understand, but I have a question, just while we're talking about what we didn't like and stuff, right? So I heard we have a new feature here on Vigo's Court called the suggestion box. Tell us a little bit about that.
We do have a new feature called the suggestion box. So as you guys know, we do interviews at the end of every set, right? So we thought that would be a good opportunity to allow you guys to ask questions that you want to hear about. So if there's anything going on during the game that you really love or that you have questions about, go ahead, check out our suggestion box and drop your questions there and who they are for. And maybe you will be able to get your question answered if that person is a person who comes into our interview room.
Definitely. That interrogation room, perfect opportunity to get all those little questions answered that you may have for why they made a decision to chase around a certain loop or things like that. Definitely really good opportunity. But we'll see. We'll see how these teams play. It looks like these survivors are getting set quickly here. I'm gonna be honest. I know Umbra plays a lot of Huntress. I don't think we'll see Huntress here. Who's your pick for what killer we'll see match 1?
I feel like match 1 is going to be, I think as we've consistently seen, it's going to be testing the waters a little bit. So I don't know. I'm always so bad about the predictions. I think it's going to maybe be, knowing Demise, I think we're going to see an interesting pick for their first killer. I think that's what we're gonna get, because if anyone remembers last week, their first pick was a Legion. So I think we're going to see maybe an unorthodox first pick, but Ultra has also proven over the course of his career with Vigos that unorthodox is sometimes going to be really great for him.
Right, and I gotta say, I think if I know Ultra may bring a Billy here, a hillbilly, I think. And I do gotta say, All for Domo coming in with a nomination for a high 5. So are you ready, Shep? Make sure those hands are
I have to figure out which way I have to face. Okay,
well, not that way, not that way, other way.
Oh crap. Sorry guys, I don't know my left from my right.
No, it's okay. I just didn't want to high five the back of your head. I think that's just rude.
That would be so rude.
Exactly.
Slap the fucking bunny hood off of my head.
Not what I'm here to do. All right, 1, 2, 3, and high five. I
have like a lag.
My hand. There we go. You didn't reach all the way over there. You're like no.
I thought I did. I think I'm too
hand.
far in my cream. Yeah, look, I'm sick right now. I don't want to get anyone else sick. I'm trying to be considerate.
I was sick yesterday, so we're sick together. Okay? No, we're sick together.
Fair. Yeah, no, fair.
Ugh. Good thing this is all virtual, so I'm not getting all of you sick. But yeah, looks like our survivors are ready. The high 5 did pass. So let's go ahead and see. I think they're all set up. But I am hearing from my ref that I am still waiting on confirmation. So we're not quite ready to get set yet. But as I was saying, I think a Hillbilly is not a bad play here. I've seen Hillbilly do very well on Groaning Storehouse, and Ultra is just really good with those little flicks, you know? So I think
I would
it'd be interesting.
Yeah, I would super love to see a Billy here. I'm always down for Billy, please.
Billy, please. And it looks like I am seeing confirmation that we may be set. Still waiting for my ref, but I think that we're set.
Patiently waiting, respectfully.
Actually still waiting for Yo Humble Yourself to actually give us confirmation. I thought I got confirmation for a second, but it was a lie, so I had to switch real quick. All those survivors look ready, but they have not told our ref that they are ready to go. Oh man.
Respectfully waiting.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and wow. There we go. I'm a spectator now. We are ready. Sometimes the struggle's real. All right, and right there, the struggle was real.
The struggle is very real. DBD can be kind of convoluted, you know.
Well, it wasn't even DBD's fault this time. That was just me, like spamming the mouse button. Like, nope, I can't get it yet.
I was trying to give you an out.
I mean, I gotta recognize when I screwed up, and I screwed up.
You know what? Very fair. It's very good to be honest with yourself. That's how we improve.
Exactly. So now I don't know who we're waiting on at this point. We are in the spectator role, but we have not started yet. I'm going to tell them they're good to go one more time here. Waiting for these players to go.
Aren't a lot of the Wrecking Crew lads console, though?
Yes, I'm on PC right now, and as you can see, oh shoot. Well, they're the ones that are readied up, though. They're the ones that are readied up. So if we're not moving, it's Ultra. Oh wait, Ultra. Oh, there we go. Nope, we're going. Here we go. It's connecting.
Woo, it's happening. It's happening.
All right, guys. So for sure, little bit of just anticipation to start the match today, but we're ready to go now. So
we love it.
Yeah, let's see if we have the correct offerings, though, right?
Absolutely. And while we're looking for that, actually, guys, it is December, so happy holidays, everyone. If you've noticed, we've got our Christmas, well, not Christmas, our winter event is now up in DVD, so make sure you guys are checking that out.
For sure. And if you're hiding in snowmen and I find you in a killer lobby, I will find you. Definitely, while we're talking about killers, though, let's talk about how these killers score points. Definitely, they're going to do that by way of the hook. And as you can see there, progressions are worth one less point than those hooks. Definitely, you're going to want to get everybody on a hook, not let them bleed out. A bleed out would result in 0 points. If you are able to go ahead and get the 4K, you will get an additional 2 points. If you do have somebody die to the end game collapse, though, that will count as the full hook and progressions for that survivor. So there are 30 points available to our killers. Go ahead and use exclamation point rules in the chat if you want to know more.
And waiting patiently.
Oh, like, is this where like the Jeopardy music plays in our head and all of our heads? Yep. Song wedgie right there. All of your heads. You can blame me, but yep, there it is. The Jeopardy music.
Gotta love the anticipation. My favorite part of Comp DVD is waiting for lobbies, because I know as soon as we have to stop waiting for the lobby, it's going to be running at 1,000 miles an hour.
No way.
Ultra's my new favorite. And if you guys are seeing this, we have a ghost face coming out to play on Groaning Storehouse, broken out of stock as by somebody behind him, entering chase with our first survivor here. Although if you notice, he does have almost a full stock on somebody else that was across the across the map. And like I said, an unorthodox pick, but Ultra is skilled enough that he could probably make it work.
You know, I will say, though, he didn't really get too friendly of a corrupt zone.
Yeah, one thing that can be said for Groaning Storehouse consistently is that Corrupt Intervention doesn't really have, like, Corrupt Intervention never really spawns very friendly to the killer because of the way that generators are set up and where the killer does spawn on this map. So not a very friendly corrupt zone here for him. Hopefully the survivors are taking advantage of that here while he is in chase with Spawn.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting that he was running that loop for a while there because, I mean, a lot of survivors regard that as almost an infinite, don't they?
Yeah, I am pretty sure that is. Ooh, and finishing our stock here on Steve, having that almost 99 so that you can do a very quick finishing of that at the pallet after it is thrown. So this is a very dangerous position for Steve here. We could be seeing our first down to an exposure timer.
Yeah, and I think we will, but it's interesting to see that Spawn's not getting reset either. There's Zarina, and I think she had our flashlight, so be interesting to see no play of the flashlight. Ooh, tried to drop the pallet.
And we do see that reset come in on Spawn. We do know that means, however, that there are probably no survivors on generators at this moment, which is going to be really dangerous for our survivors here. But there goes the first gen, so I guess they proved me wrong.
You know, every once in a while, it's okay to be proven wrong, right? Ooh, a Claudette. A wild Claudette we have found. Good job, Ghostface.
And we have certainly found a wild Claudette using our power to get a little bit of stock off on her and then leaving to check on our hook, which is a good idea because apparently there was Repressed Alliance, someone working on that generator. We do see another generator pop off in the distance with only one hook on the table.
I will inform you that's actually our deadlock coming in because a generator got completed off in the distance, and that's the most progressed gen we've got right here, Shep.
Oh, my bad. I really thought that was Repressed Alliance. I didn't see that other generator pop. So leaving Shack, not really interested in chasing around Shack. I think it looks like our killer is going to go and pressure the other generators, giving a little head nod as he sees someone off in the distance.
Yeah, and I think that's a good move here. Ooh, get the Pocos. Ooh. Oh, or the swing without the drop. Oof. Love that too.
Very risky to be running injured still, but getting caught out. We will see Spawn go back up on the hook. Not back up on the hook, go on the hook for the first time.
For sure, and you gotta wonder, do you have deliverance? But we do see Steve and oh well, there's deliverance. I got my answer, didn't I?
Whew. But we do see two survivors over here getting the stock off on and exposing the Claudette, who runs straight into his knife. Very unfortunate. Luckily, our survivors know the basement isn't in here, so not the worst place to go down, but still not ideal to go down almost immediately at the beginning of a chase.
Definitely not. And we have seen Ghostface is trying to protect the gens around the shack area here. So I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, well, there's our ace exposing our Ghostface. But I was going to say, I wouldn't be surprised if we see the gen here by the shack get kicked. But that's not what we see here. Instead, we see body blocks happening.
Yeah, I'm more interested in protecting each other than worrying about that gen right this second, which is going to extend this chase by a little bit, maybe give them enough time to get a reset and start pressuring that generator over there. But I don't know if our survivors have realized the situation that they're in.
You know, it's interesting going into stock right here. You're chasing a survivor and you go into stock. What's really the purpose of that one? Because you got to think that survivor's probably communicating out what's going on, right?
Mm-hmm. You know, I can't say I can very well understand someone who, first of all, brought Ghostface into comp DVD. So maybe there's a method to the madness that I'm not quite picking up on.
I mean, that's very true.
We do find another one of our injured survivors, which is not hard because everyone is injured right now. Hopefully, while Spawn has been down and is getting hooked right now, his teammates are resetting somewhere else, We do see, however, they were finishing a generator, so good commitment on their part. We are going to see this one by the hill get kicked. As that reset comes in across the map, they're going to need to go and get spawned pretty soon here if they want to get as many points as possible.
You know, I think it's interesting though. We have a loose 3-gen over there, but we're electing to take chase away from the loose 3-gen. And if you notice which gen got deadlocked, it's the far gen actually. The one we're going to right now. So you got to think somebody's probably close on finishing that.
Yeah, and we unfortunately still have 2 injured. I believe that was both of our injured survivors over in this area, which could probably leave our killer to reasonably assume that the one who is not injured is getting the unhook.
Yep, and that's
As that
exactly what we
comes in.
saw. Oh, and what's going on here? Our Claudette goes ahead, escapes the main building. Is our Steve trying to run the main building? I think our Ghostface actually just missed out on Steve running into the building.
Yeah, I think that might have been an oversight, or he's got something more important to protect, which is going to be his very loose 3-gen over here. We see another reset coming across the way. Unfortunately, found our survivors as they were finishing that reset, so this could be really ugly for them. Undo all of that time they just spent healing each other up.
But instead,
and again,
they
taking
break
that
chase.
Yeah. Oh, and it was that far gen that got finished. But do you see what I see, Vader?
I do. I see a haste effect. But
I
we're
do
chasing
see a haste
injured
effect.
Survivors.
Yeah, not really capitalizing on Noed being on the table right now, but if he can make it to this door and maybe get another couple downs or a slug, or while he's got a slug, this might be able to be advantageous to him. But I think going after a injured survivor is not really using the best, making the best use of his Noed. Wow. We will see all 3 survivors take their escape, leaving their teammate, who was so close to the hatch. That's heartbreaking.
You know,
That's
we've
really
seen that happen
unfortunate.
multiple times now where the entity is just playing around with survivors' hearts. Just like, hey, you know, you look like you want hatch. Let me put it like close to you, but where you can't get it because the killer's too close to you. All right. I just want you to be able to hear that you could have had the escape, but can't.
Yeah, I don't know, because that happened all yesterday too. So I wonder if that's going to be our trend for week 5 is down survivors having hatch pop up near them or having hatch pop up near the killer.
You know, maybe. Definitely not a bad round by Ultra, though. You know, Ghostface in comp just doesn't end up being really, really powerful, right? And so definitely you are going into this next round with a 6-point deficit. But if we've seen anything from Demise, it's that their survivors know how to play. Should be interesting to see, though, because I know Wrecking Crew probably has been saving some things for Demise.
I'm still kind of at a loss for words that I just saw, like Ghostface and TBD comp.
Hey.
But I guess we did call it, like, it was going to be an unorthodox pick for that first one. So
Yeah, I honestly didn't think that we were gonna see Ghostface. I thought Billy, but not Ghostface. But hey, shout out to your boy Q for raiding in with a party of 8 viewers, and definitely looked like we got a lot of people in the stream today. Looks like 93 viewers right now. You guys are all awesome. Thank you for being here for sure.
Yeah,
and hey, these players are putting on a good show, aren't they?
Yeah, thanks for showing up to support the teams today, guys. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think this was an interesting pick, but I think this gave Ultra a lot of information as well. So we always said that first game is kind of testing the waters, and the survivors of Demise, who are going to be playing next, have shown that they are also not slackers.
For sure. And as we wait on the invite from our killer, let's talk about the suggestion box one more time, because for sure Anybody who has seen Vigos before knows it's kind of a tradition that whoever wins this game, one of their team members will end up joining us in the interrogation room, and we'll be answering some of our questions here.
Yeah, so let's talk about it. We do have a suggestion box below, you guys. It is a new feature that we are trying out this week. For everyone who wasn't here when we talked about it at the beginning of the stream, you do all, like Vader said, you know that we all do interviews at the end with the winning team. If you have a question for somebody that you want answered, one of the players, one of the teams, go ahead and drop your questions in our suggestion box below, and we will make sure that if we can ask them to whoever we interview, we will. And then that gives you guys a chance to get some of your questions answered. You know, anything you might want to know about Comp DBD or about players or like information from players in Comp DBD.
Oh, yeah. I definitely couldn't have said it better myself. And, you know, it definitely couldn't have sounded better because, like, you know, Shep's voice definitely sounds better than mine. So,
I don't know. I kind of got I got that raspy voice thing going on because I'm sick right now. So
I got the nasally voice because I got all the head congestion up here. You want to have a competition about this? I'll beat you.
No. I don't want to have a competition about anything. I play Comp DBD for that.
Yeah, same. I understand. I understand. All right. Let me get out of this survivor spot here. I don't want to survive right now. No.
I know you want to play Survivor, Vader, but
not me. So it looks like Ultra and Demise are all jumping in right now. Looks like we got Ultra, Zub Flushed, Troggy, and the map is set to Grony Storehouse, so we love that. Also, Sleepy J is in here right now. So
perfect. I love to see how quick these lobbies are coming together. Very professional on the part of all of our players. Thanks, guys.
Sure.
You're so awesome.
Look how quick they're getting their items and everything set, too. I mean, we're just waiting on Nancy to go ahead and find her lunchbox. Medkit, and ready up, you know?
My lunchbox, please.
Oh, no, my
Put
lunchbox.
my bandages in there. Oh, no, my lunchbox.
I mean, that's what I call it every time. If I go to Midwich, like, I'm bringing a lunchbox. You know, like, take me to school, Mom, with my lunchbox.
Yeah,
I'm ready.
you gotta be prepared for, you know, for your school day.
Yeah, exactly. Looks like Nancy has a toolbox, though. Same as Troggy. That's going to be an issue if that stays that way. But for sure, what killer do you think Wrecking Crew brings in response to the Ghostface? Since they have a lead here, do you think they go ahead and keep the pedal to the metal, or do you think they also bring Ghostface for Ghostface?
If they don't bring Legion, I'm gonna be really upset actually, because Hamza's on that team.
So you're saying Susie or Riot?
Susie or Riot. So I mean, they're either going to bring an unorthodox pick again, or I think we might see, since they do have the lead and knowing that the Demise survivors are also very skilled and very good, this might be a place where it's like, okay, like, it's fun in games, but I like winning and I like points. So we're going to bring out someone a little more strong.
Yeah, I think that's fair as well. I mean, honestly, I think if they want to keep... Ooh, actually, I just thought about this. Wrecking Crew's already consumed one of their nurse uses. I don't think they want to bring nurse again this early, or do you, versus Demise?
I mean, this wouldn't be the first time that someone in the league has consumed the full use of an S tier killer. And also, if you're going to use it against any team, it might be Demise. If you need a strong killer, like if you're considering who to use your strong killers against and you want to use them against the stronger teams, Demise is absolutely one of our stronger teams, considering they are sitting undefeated right now.
But I am going to go ahead and mention Demise, weren't they also known as Deity for a while? They're not new to the competitive scene, right? So it's fair to think they... it's not technically same team as Deity, though. Not technically. But, like, I think some of the members may have come from other teams such as Deity, right? So, definitely... they're not new to comp by any means. I think that it's fair to say they will have practiced versus very many S tiers and may be, I mean, as we've seen, you bring an S tier versus certain teams and you end up getting no hooks just because they're so well practiced versus that killer. Do you think Demise is one of those that you worry about that with?
I think that that is a reasonable assumption to make. Again, we saw Blight come out against Arctic Wolves and get no hooks because Arctic Wolves plays against really good Blights. So we could see that situation again here where you might not want to bring an S tier. But again, it's like, do you want to bring, can you make the power work for you despite them being used to it? It is that kind of like balance you have to achieve when picking your next killer here. So I think you're right though, unless they're really, really, really confident in like an S tier pick, it might not be the safest bet here just because it is an S tier.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see. I mean, like I said, this is a really strong map for Nurse if you did decide to bring Nurse. We'll see, though, what happens here. For sure, they're loading in now, and we did see all of the offerings we wanted to see. So let's review how the survivors can score, and this is really Demise's opportunity to come back here. Definitely they want to finish the gens just like their predecessors did in the first trial, and those escapes definitely are super important as well. The first, second, and third escape, as we saw in the last match, are 1, 2, and 4 points, just like we saw there, but the fourth escape is 6 points. So definitely you want to try to get that fourth person out. We'll see if Demise can do that where Wrecking Crew could not. Definitely if you do have more than 2 hook states remaining, then you will get another point as well, allowing for 26 points available for this survivor team. Well, it'll be interesting to see, can they reclaim the lead or bring it to a tie after this match? And we're just waiting on a load screen for a little bit here. You know, every once in a while, gotta go ahead and wait.
Patience is a virtue. We've seen some really good plays have been a result of very good patience.
That is true. And you talk about patience, but definitely this is a killer you can't be too patient with because the chain hunt's a real thing. Oh no, he found the box. Not the box.
Not the box. Oh no. As you guys can see, we do have Pinhead coming out to play, and he will find the box first, which shows him exactly where our survivors are starting that first chain hunt and giving him a little bit of pressure in the very beginning of the game.
You know, and I think it was just lucky that he found it because it wasn't highlighted. He didn't bring an add-on or anything that highlighted it. He just happened to walk by where he saw it and was like, oh, don't mind me, I'll take that.
Yeah, very, very lucky for our Pinhead there to be able to take advantage of that. And you do see they do find that box to stop the current chain hunt that is going on as our Pinhead picks up chase with another survivor.
It was also interesting. It was interesting to see they didn't teleport to that.
Yeah, I think maybe it was just a decision on what was important since he had a survivor in front of him. And since everyone is healthy, it's like, well, oof, and we will see a stun, allowing our survivor to build up the distance she needs to get into that main building once again.
Yeah, definitely not what you want to see if you are Wrecking Crew trying to go ahead and trying to keep the lead that you've got here. Definitely a very good run from these survivors right now. Really haven't had Pinhead have any pressure with the exception of finding the box early.
Yeah, strong start, but unable to really keep up that pressure as he runs around this jungle gym with this survivor. Not quite landing those hooks, which is going to be really, really vital to him building any kind of pressure here for himself.
Yeah, but he may get a first hook here, depending on how this survivor plays. Looks like they're trying to just W game around, having to dodge the hook. I would pre-drop that pallet. No, they're gonna greet it though, so we'll see how that ends up.
Yeah, to be fair, that is a ton of space for our survivor to very comfortably greed this pallet. Even with the chain attaching, being able to break it, throw the pallet, and get around once more to keep up that distance.
Oh man, deadlock blocking this hill gen here, but you can hear how how far it is. This is amazing to see for these survivors. 2 gens popping, which means 2 gens deadlocked, and they're getting rid of chain hunt now. And this killer still is not teleporting to the box. Never mind. I'm eating my words right now.
We do see the teleport come in, responding to this box being undone. Being solved, I'm sorry, and picking up chase with a survivor who dared to play with Pinhead's box.
Couldn't be me playing with the box. I'm not opening that box.
That's asking for something. Taking the chase back into this kind of weird outlet in the back of the map here. She is injured, so this could be a really good place for him to get it down to force somebody into this area. Ooh, and kind of a swing and a miss, not quite landing the hit, allowing our survivor to come back into the main part of the map.
Not enough Pocos.
Not enough Pocos. Definitely not exhibiting a very good control of the chain ability, which is really, really important to Pinhead. It's a lot of his slowdown. So our killer here is going to need to start getting those a little bit more on point if he wants to catch these survivors, because they're very quick.
Yeah, interestingly enough, we do see Deadlock playing a little bit of a role, but not really a lot of a role, because as we saw, Ruin is gone. As we also saw, these gens are still popping, and you know that like 90% gen that was that one hill gen still is there. Ooh, these survivors are breaking chains on themselves even. Look at the way Claudette's running to break the chains off. Crazy.
Very skilled gameplay from our survivors, and showing really good communication to make sure that they can run in and break those chains so that their vulnerable survivors aren't being hindered any more than necessary.
Yeah, this is really, really good play here.
Yeah, I'm like watching with anticipation as our Pinhead continues to chase the survivor around this jungle gym here. Near a finished generator too, so this is like a really safe place for our survivor to be looping, and we see another body block coming in to protect this injured Nancy.
You know, and walking around trying to dodge the body block, it's not gonna happen here. You gotta think, you just gotta go ahead and smack Quentin here. You're not making it around him.
Absolutely. Ideally, I would like to see him putting down more injured states on these survivors, punish them for the body block. And he probably needs to do it a little bit quicker than he is doing, seeing as they're just going to reset and come in. But he will see his first down from punishing that block there.
You know, I think it's a little bit too little too late, though. We're going to see the box come into play, removing chain hunt again. They have 1 gen remaining, and there it goes. The gen is gone. So, of course, we do see the haste effect, but man, you gotta think these survivors have to probably expect that as well, and we may just see a 3 out here. That's a basement hook in the end game. You can't expect you're gonna do it unless you can get them to teleport away.
Yeah, trying to bait the teleport is probably smart for our survivors, but it is very reasonable to assume that there is going to be no ad on the table, even if they haven't seen the cursed status pop up for it yet. So our survivors taking the 3 out here is going to be probably the smartest move for them, leaving their teammate, who was unfortunate enough to go down by the basement, to progress all the way to death. However, don't forget, you guys, that progressions are actually worth less points. So our killer only got the point for that initial hook. Only got full points for that initial hook, and then got a point less than he would have if he had managed to garner more hook states.
And so it's funny you talk about that, because actually Ghostface got quite a few hook states, which is why we see the game is scored 31-23. Demise in the lead right now. That's insane.
Yeah, it definitely goes to show that hook management is going to be very important for both sides. We've seen previously in other games in our season that you can get more escapes at a different, like you can have more survivors get out that door, but if the killer has enough hook states, it doesn't matter. So as a survivor squad and as a killer in this match, You have a lot you have to keep track of. Who are you hooking? What hook states have you achieved already? Are you depriving points from the other team because you've gotten everyone to second stage? But yeah, it's managing hook states is actually a really important part of this game. And I think Demise coming in and protecting each other, body blocking for each other, and preventing those additional hook states, those extra hook states, is what gave them such a lead at this point.
Yeah, I would agree. Definitely, they're proving to be a really, really tough team to beat. Of course, they've already proven that thus far in the season, but with that matchup as survivors, we almost saw a no-hook Pinhead there. And I know Pinhead may not be the strongest killer, but I would say I normally expect Pinhead to get more than no hooks, or more than 3 hooks even, right?
I mean, we have seen Pinheads do rather well, all things considered, for Pinhead in the season before. So you do kind of expect a little bit more, but again, this is a very tough survivor squad. And especially the way they were body blocking for each other and their chain interactions. Just a very difficult game for a Pinhead. I think anyone playing a Pinhead to deal with. And also this map is kind of weird.
It is a strange one. It's interesting to see how some people call it as well. Some people call the map like the Arrowhead map. And I think that's how I have it in my head. Of course, like if we go to this, if we go to the map scene here again, if you notice here, if you just rotated it just a little bit, when you see that map shape come up in that lower left there, rotate it a little bit, it almost looks like an alien invader or an arrowhead. That's where you hear that coming from.
A little squid.
Or squid. Yeah, squid is good. Actually, like, you know what? That's the new name, Squid. It's the Squid map.
It's the Squid map. Squid
it's
Games.
Squid map.
Yeah, it's a Squid map.
For sure, a lot of people try to defend the tentacles of the squid, you know? Just all of those little points across, like the two little legs off and where Shaq is. The gens that are nearest there, if a killer can hold that, that is a nasty 3-gen for the survivors.
Yeah, especially because you'll see resources in those areas. Those are some of the few areas that have a lot of resources to use. So if the killer can take chases there very early to prevent those gens from getting done early on and get rid of those resources at the same time, in the end game, if that's where the survivors have to work, it's going to be very dangerous for them.
Yeah, definitely could get very dangerous. And, you know, interestingly enough, I just kind of worry, like, well, we do see Sergeant Bishop actually coming in here. Sergeant Bishop is good with quite a few killers, so should be interesting to see who they bring in order to try to take down Demise here. But this map just is kind of dangerous if it is a really good survivor team, because as we saw there, Deadlock was supposed to help the killer have more time, and it really didn't, did it? Like, they left the gen that I was saying would be priority at like 90%, so it was the one that got deadlocked every time. And like, as soon as it came down from deadlock, they finished another gen to re-deadlock that gen.
Yeah, so Deadlock has been a really, really popular perk in comp on the killer side. I think there are very few games I can think of where I didn't see Deadlock come into play. But the more and more it gets used, I think the more and more we're going to start seeing teams be able to play around it, because it is strong. But if your survivors are doing what you need them to do and you have everyone split up on generators, locking one gen, so if ideally you have one person in chase and 3 people on generators, locking one of those 3 generators is not going to be tragic, and you're saving it for later, because I'm pretty sure that Deadlock works the same way Repressed Alliance does, where Ruin doesn't progress through the lock.
Correct.
So, in fact, Deadlock could be saving generators for the survivors if they play it properly.
For sure. Definitely should be something to watch here. And hey, Shep, I just gotta take a moment for a second. I just gotta celebrate the fact that right now, we just broke 100 viewers live right now on stream. We have 100 viewers. You guys are awesome. Just saying.
Thank you
Y'all
guys
are
so
awesome.
much for supporting the show and all the teams that come out to play. We really, really appreciate the support. We couldn't do this without you guys, honestly. Like, you're also a big part of this family. So thank you guys for taking the time out of your day to join us. We are going to have a really great week of games. So I hope to see you guys throughout the rest of our weekend.
For sure. And we do see Cup of JoJo actually rated with 11 viewers there, helping us get to that point. So for sure, awesome to see that.
Yeah, thank you so much, Joe. We really appreciate it.
And we're getting ready to go right now. So we do have all of our survivors readied up. We're getting into our lobby. Hopefully we see all the offerings that we should see, and then we'll review some build rules just to make sure everybody understands how that needs to go.
And we do see 5 offerings, and it looks like 5 of the correct offerings. Our teams are V on top of it today.
We like that. For sure, we like that. All right, guys. So for sure, as we go through these build rules, we definitely want to see yellow items and add-ons. Only one of each perk in item, with the exception of BT. You can have 2 of those. But you can't have any of the following perks, all right? They are not allowed. That would include Built to Last, Prove Thyself, Starstruck, Haunted Ground, Lethal Pursuer, Boons, and the Clairvoyance. It's just not allowed. Too OP, all right? Definitely, killer uses are limited to twice a season. That way you can't bring Nurse every week. And survivors are limited to 1 character per team. No 4 Dwights in 1 locker. Can't let it happen. Any of those violations would be subject to penalties. And I'm going to cut it right off right there because we are in with the Nurse.
And we did kind of call it earlier that a nurse might come out, and we do see pretty immediately she's picking up that first chase. Ooh, swinging just a little short. Sergeant Bishop here is going to need to make sure those blinks are on point going against a team like Demise.
You know, interestingly enough, did we see how Nancy went ahead and baited that blink? This is definitely something that you would see. Oh, and the double back here.
Ooh.
Definitely experienced nurse counter right there.
Yeah, like we said before, if you're going to bring a nurse or another S tier into this match, you need to bring an on-point nurse, someone who isn't going to have to worry too much about getting thrown by double backs. Although we are seeing a lot of single blinks from our nurse, which I think is very interesting.
I think that's common to see from nurse, though. That is definitely what you see from a comp nurse for sure. If you don't have the distance you need to be able to still have line of sight and not have to do a prediction blink after 1 blink, then you have to go ahead and let it happen. Or what's going on here? I was very confused.
Yeah, I think everyone might have been a little confused there. We do see our first gen pod by Demise at the same time as their teammate will go down, and our killer will take their first hook here.
And definitely something chat pointed out, and I'm seeing it too. It looks like our nurse seems kind of confident because do you see no add-ons?
I do. Indeed. I was wondering that something looked really weird here. We do have a no add-on nurse. Somebody coming out trying to show the raw power of just nurse on her own, I suppose. Very bold. That's a power move. For sure.
Going, hey, you can have all these limits for nurse. She may be able to only bring yellow and below or whatever, like she's allowed to bring, but it's okay. I don't need nothing. I bring nothing.
Sergeant Bishop out here saying, all right, bet. I don't need it. Very, very confident. We're going to, I think, confirm the second stage here, which is all right for our killer. He does only have, there is only 1 gen completed, but knowing Demise, they are probably going to slam a couple of gens out here. We do see someone coming in for the unhook, and we're going to play this game. Claudette deciding to leave from the unhook area, and we actually find another survivor over here. So that is going to be 3 injured survivors trying to attempt this rescue.
Yeah, and you see the blood there. That survivor didn't run away super long ago, so we may see Sleepy J actually confirm the death here.
Yeah, this is a pretty uncomfortable positions for our survivors. I did say that we would see generators fly. One generator did get finished in this entire time, but knowing that there were two survivors over here trying to save a third means that there is not enough gen pressure on the table for generators to be popping as quickly as we might like to see in this kind of situation.
Yeah, for sure, and it's kind of interesting to see. Definitely, Sleepy J is about to progress to death here. Nobody's going to be able to get the save, so already starving the survivors of one escape, and we do see this gen get the deadlock here. So for sure, if you can find Ultra, your next injured survivor, you may be able to force a 2K here.
Yeah, Sergeant Bishop definitely already on the hunt, kind of sticking around this deadlock generator, it looks like, because he knows that this is where they're going to be. And kind of smart on his part. He knows there are only two generators left. He has, however, found the injured survivor, the Quentin over here, which is going to be really, really dangerous if he can get another down here and we see a repeat of what just happened. Ooh, oh, and an attempt to use the firecrackers. I know you guys heard that hiss. An attempt to use the firecrackers to save himself and cancel the nurse blink with a body burn. But unfortunately, our nurse was just too quick and got that blink and down before the firecrackers could even pop.
Talk about the skill it takes to go ahead and call an audible like that. Like you're holding the blink and you're like, oh no, I'm about to get stunned. No, I have to get out. That was a
Yeah.
very good play. Good heads up play.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely good for them to stay on their toes, knowing that that was coming in and what that could mean for him. Sergeant Bishop going ahead and taking the initiative to, all right, I'm just going to cut this off here.
Yeah, interesting not to kick that one far side gen though and try to maybe camp that gen in this hook. Instead, letting that gen get deadlocked, but now there's only one gen that needs completed, and you gotta think it's gonna be that one as close as it is. I mean, it's, as Q would say, knocking like a Ford in December.
Definitely knocking like a Ford in December. We do see one survivor off in the distance, kind of running in, probably trying to get the save here. And we're just going to see a repeat of what happened here, potentially a hook trade. Yep, that is going to be a trade. Knowing that Deadlock is still on that gen that was very far progressed, it has just dropped, but that will be another hook stake for Sergeant Bishop here.
Yeah, and should be interesting to see. Do they go for it? They are going for it right now. No, they're not. They've elected to not go for it.
Just checking on it, yeah. And landing that hit there, that's going to be an adrenaline play from our survivor. However, you see it, I see it, I think we all see it. That is going to be a no-head haste effect there. And we do see a deliverance on the Claudette. Ooh, a swing and a miss. That is going to also be, I believe, no way out triggering on that far door there. So a dangerous situation. Our survivors have to run out a Noah that they don't know is there yet. Ooh, but getting the fucking pallet stun on the nurse coming out of the blink. Very good of our survivor here. He does know that somebody is off over in this area because of that no way out trigger.
Yeah, and finding Ultra here, this is not the person you want to be finding and chasing necessarily. Ooh, but with no it gone, I eat my words. This is the person you want to be chasing right now.
A smart play. I think knowing that he didn't get that first hit and down off of Noed for the with the Nea, it was a smart play to instead transfer onto our survivor here who is still healthy, or who is still injured and not healthy, and making a good guess as to not going to be able to get any value out of the Noed.
Yeah, and I think these survivors are just going to take the two out and leave their friend to die here, but I could be wrong.
I think it would be the safer move, considering that if they come in and don't do this rescue properly, they are just going to be giving up more hook states. But I've seen some crazier things. And now that they know that Noed is no longer on the table, I think it would be a good time, or a good attempt. However, they are running out of time. They would need to do a reset. It does look like they are going to take the two out and sacrifice Quentin to the nurse here.
Yeah, and I think that's a good move. I mean, even with that, you have 45 to 36. So definitely going into the final trial here where Demise will be killing, you have a 9-point lead and you're feeling good about where you're at. Definitely nothing to scoff at, though. It is definitely something you can come back from if you are Wrecking Crew.
Absolutely. A 9-point lead is not the craziest comeback we've ever seen. We have seen teams have to do like almost perfect games to win, and even though they don't get the win, they still bring it within a point or two. So I think anything is possible here for Wrecking Crew if they want to try to overcome what is on the table for them right now.
You know, yeah, there's a lot still left on the table, and it should be interesting to see who Demise ends up bringing, because they're kind of in control right now, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I think even though it is not the largest lead we've ever seen, a lead is still a lead. So Demise can really set the pace here with what they decide to bring.
You know, it should be interesting to see. We've seen them bring really off-meta killers. Like, I mean, you talked about Legion, but then we also had to talk about Ghostface. I'm at a loss. I don't know who to expect anymore, okay? Like, I was like, Billy seems like a really good pick here. They're like, no, Ghostface.
Like, hold my beer. We're not bringing out a Billy. We're bringing out Ghostface. You know what? But that is a player for the people.
Hey, Ultra is a player for the people.
So, I mean, and I think it's just Ultra showing off that he has a wide range of killers that he is competent with, because that wasn't bad Ghostface gameplay. Ghostface, as a killer, just isn't very strong in the first place. But somebody who is a Ghostface, like, player, rather frequently, so... he's just not, like, a very strong killer, but Ultra being able to come in and still secure a 1k with a couple hook states, not a bad showing, honestly. So Ultra just coming in and showing that he's very confident and competent on a wide range of killers, which is what you like to see.
What do you think about what's it gonna say? Hag? Who was I gonna say? Shoot, it was in my head for a second. Not Legion, not Hag. It's gone, but it'll come back to me a little bit later. But talk about the suggestion box for me one more time. We're getting close to that interrogation room, so I want to go ahead and make sure everybody here knows about that.
Yeah, so if you guys weren't here when we talked about it the first or the second time, we do have a suggestion box, or if you need a reminder, if you have any questions for any of our players or the teams playing right now, go ahead and drop those questions in the box below. It's on the bottom of our Twitch page. And depending on who we do an interview with today, you could hear your questions asked in the interview and get some answers to maybe why Ghostface, which I mean, I think we're going to ask that anyway. But if you guys have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the suggestion box below and we will do our best to get those answers for you.
You know what? I think another good question, if Wrecking Crew pulls this off, why Sergeant Bishop run no add-ons on your nurse?
Yeah, that is definitely a really good question.
Right? I did think of the killer I was going to ask you, though. What about a demo here? Because I think demo is good enough to get you the win, but then you don't feel like you're consuming something too high on the tier list.
Yeah, I definitely think demo can be utilized really well here, especially with the portals. He can create a little bit of map pressure. But it's it's kind of still a give and take. Like, you have to pick and choose what you respond to. But I definitely think demo could be an interesting choice here, and not just an interesting choice, but a fairly decent choice. Again, if Ultra is killing, he's shown he's competent with a wide range of killers. So if he pulls out a demo, it's probably because he's feeling pretty good about it.
Yeah, I want to say that Ultra is a pretty good demo, so I think... I think demo is the one. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think demo's the one he'll bring, because it's not quite meta to think that he'll bring it, and it's not too super weird. But watch, he'll bring a clown or something, you know.
Yeah, watch we see another comp clown, which I mean hasn't been bad in the past.
True.
The win condition of this game for Demise is not so great that I think we see an S tier or a use for an S tier. I think we can see one of those killers where you can kind of relax, and as long as you can secure a couple of hook states and maybe a death or two, that's all you really need to ensure the win. We don't go for winning by large margins here all the time, folks. Sometimes it's just a win by 1 point is enough.
A win's
I
a
don't
win.
think this will be a win by 1 point. A win is going to be a win no matter what. And I don't think this game here is going to be a win by 1 point. But you know,
So do you think Bubba?
at the end of the day. Oh God, Bubba on this map gives me like, PTSD flashbacks.
Oh no.
Do you remember like one of my first practices with your team, and I think Yui brought out a Bubba and I cried. I don't know if you
Yes.
remember that, but I remember that.
I didn't remember that until you said that, but yes.
Because it was on this map. It was on this map. That was
Oh
awful.
my gosh.
Yeah, so I mean, we got our asses kicked that day. Actually, I think it was Luma. I think it was Luma who brought the Bubba out
Luma,
that game.
yeah. Luma brought the
Yeah.
Bubba. Yui doesn't play Bubba as much. Luma's the Bubba.
Yeah,
And
so Luma brought out a Bubba. I think you had brought out Neris. Luma brought out the Bubba and like destroyed us on this map. So I think
I
Bubba's
think you
another
guys only
really good
finished
pick.
like one gen. It was crazy.
I don't even know if we finished a gen. That's giving us. That was. I saw Bubba. I'm like, Jesus, take the wheel.
You're like, please don't hook me in basement.
Yeah, please don't put me in the basement. You don't want this.
You know what though? Shout out to Bubba for trying to protect us from Pinhead for all those years. You know,
Yeah.
ended up being that Dwight cursed us all.
Of course, Dwight was the downfall of society. Like,
Just
He
totally
looks the
makes
part.
sense. He does look the part.
and we do see all of our correct add-ons there. So I think we have a penalties video to talk about.
I think you're right. So let's go ahead and talk about that. Definitely any match that does have a penalty could be played out. Maybe not, though. Or maybe it's restarted. Definitely, we're going to want to see, we're going to never want to see two of the same survivor, two of the same perk or any banned perks, or two of the, or any banned add-ons. That would result in -5 points. I'm fumbling my words a little bit. Luckily, there's not a penalty for that, though. Definitely don't harass a ref, though, because there is a penalty for that one. Using an exhausted killer.
I'm a nice lady.
Yeah, definitely, right? Definitely, you don't want to have penalties happen. We have seen them cost teams games before. So if you want to view all the rules on those penalties, use exclamation point rules in the chat.
Yeah, definitely take advantage of our Nightbot there, guys. We got a lot of really good information for you. If you have any questions that you might not want to ask in the chat box, you might be able to find it there in our Nightbot prompts.
You know what? This is a really, like, I feel like this is more of a meta choice than I was expecting.
Yeah, you know, we have seen a lot of talk of twins being considered A or even S tier in regards to comp specifically. So this is a very meta pick for what we were considering, especially coming from Ultra, who has brought some very strange picks out before.
You know, I'm gonna go ahead and say as well, like, what did Ultra do to deserve like the RNGesus that happened here? Do you see that corrupt? It's the gens
Yeah.
that you want to protect. It's each of those legs and the middle gen right near Shaq. What? What did
That
you
is
do to
a-
get this?
Yeah, that is definitely the kindest spawn for corrupt intervention I've ever seen for a killer on this map. And we do find our first survivor with Victor here going to attach that sucker on there and switch back into Charlotte with another survivor really close by.
You know, calling Victor a sucker made me kind of uncomfortable, you know? Like, just, I know he's, like, on somebody's
Oh.
back, but just, like, thinking about him being, like, a vampire there, chills.
Ew, I didn't even think about it like that, but now I'm uncomfortable with my statement. Disgusting. So we do find another survivor here. It does look like they are going to hold on to Victor across the map, depriving Charlotte of part of her power. Although Killer Instinct is giving us a lot of information over there.
Yeah, and we do see the recall on Victor as well. So definitely Charlotte doing a good job monitoring when the recall could happen and utilizing. So very well here. Oh, barely
And
missing.
ooh, unfortunate. Yeah, definitely deciding to ignore the healthy survivor that he saw to go ahead and get the down with Victor here and then scamper away to harass who he knows is probably very nearby.
I think that was a totem, though.
I think that was a totem, which is going to be real unfortunate. Getting that killer instinct on a Claudette who might be there to kick Victor. So switching back real quick and being like, excuse you, nope. And getting that attachment before coming over to pick up our down survivor.
Definitely very good for our twins right here, having that opportunity. And I don't know if you saw over here, but I think we still have Ruin up. Oh, well, you know what?
Oh,
I take it back. It's gone.
Caster's curse. Caster's curse.
I didn't mean it.
It's okay. It's all right. I think Ultra will be okay, all things considered. But we do have one survivor on hook and 2 injured with somebody around this very dangerous basement area. Victor coming out to go and harass this already injured survivor. This could be really dangerous. Ooh, but a good fake at the window to make Victor go ahead and leap through that. Oh, gosh. It makes me so anxious.
It really does. Seeing a failed pounce as well. Never like to see it. Oh no, here comes the kick. Oof!
And bouncing into that wall is going to be really unfortunate for Victor there, allowing Ace to get the kick and crush him as we see the unhook and reset across the map.
And you gotta hope that our twins goes ahead and dares the down we needed to see.
Oh my gosh, just absolutely brutal pinpoint accuracy, getting that Ace down before he can even think about dropping that pallet. And sending Victor off to do a little guard dogging as Charlotte comes over to pick up Ace around this pallet.
He crawled into the open area. I would have been more wary of, did somebody have a flashlight nearby? But our twin's not worried about it. Goes ahead and picks up.
Yeah, and I think that's knowing that someone would have to go either, like, they would either have Victor in between them and the down survivor or Charlotte in between them and the down survivor. So a pretty good safe bet to maybe not be worried about the flashlight save, because I think she would have been able to see them either way with the way that both Charlotte and Victor were positioned.
Yeah, and do you see what I see? There are a bunch of survivors over here.
There are very certainly a bunch of survivors over here.
And there's an injured survivor coming this way. I don't know how much of a good idea that is.
Yeah, probably not safe knowing that Victor is still sitting very close to that hook. We are looking for someone. We do see blood on the ground, but I don't think we're sticking with it. Kind of hard to tell with the grass, but no, definitely just coming back to check out what's going on around the hook here. And finding another injured survivor, swing and a miss with Victor there, allowing Nancy to get the kickoff, and forcing back into Charlotte, which reveals that there was a survivor trying to do the generator under her nose.
Yeah, and I think Steve is going to continue doing so. Just like Yui's over here, like, I'm just going to do this gen, don't mind me.
Yeah, we are going to follow this blood trail to try to track down whatever survivor is over here, finding them in this main building and trapping them in a corner. How unfortunate. It looks like a survivor got stuck on that door frame. So that's going to be the down there as we see somebody else coming in for the unhook. Ooh, that is really unfortunate. Seeing the unhook, unfortunately, I don't think there was any BT on that. So Victor gets the down immediately.
Yeah, and I think that was actually some kinship value if I'm correct, because I was noticing that not getting the blind.
Not quite being able to get the blind. That is the second time we've seen a firecrackers used to not very good effect. However, we do see that we only have one survivor down at this point, which is pretty good for our survivor squad getting that pickup. Never mind. I stand corrected. Caster's curse. We now have no survivors down. A very quick pickups for our survivor squad here, getting each other up off the ground, although this is going to be very dangerous as Yui is still injured. Oh, but nope, we missed with our Victor, so not too dangerous. We just know where an injured survivor is now.
Yeah, I'll note that was a dead hard into the pallet just to give yourself iframes so that Victor would bounce off and then kick Victor.
And we are going to use Victor to use that built-in Bloodhound to track somebody with the blood marks here. Waiting for that pallet drop, very, very patient, but unfortunately the survivor did not drop it. So using the locker to try to buy yourself some time, but Charlotte is not far away, so it's very reasonable to think she's going to be able to get this locker grab. Or down by the locker.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see here, but I think the survivors may actually be able to get the 3 out, which does that go ahead and actually allow for them to does that allow for them to get this win? I don't know.
I'm not entirely sure because I'm really bad at math, but we do see that they did reset each other. So Victor attaching to a survivor is not going to be that tragic because he was healthy at the time. And this allows for him to just hold on to Victor, denying Charlotte of that power.
I think if Charlotte doesn't get one more hook, there is still an opportunity for a 3 out to win it. Otherwise, I think they need a 4 out.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be pretty dangerous here for our survivors, knowing that Charlotte was not too far off. She's going to come back to this area where the unhook happened and be able to potentially catch somebody out because the resources in this area, like we said at one point, they have been used pretty early on. And, except for that one. And the resources in these leg areas are really important to keeping survivors healthy, but a misplay by our Claudette here, and she will go down and give Charlotte that hook, which means if she's not out of this game, no, that was a fresh hook, unfortunately. So the other survivors are going to need to reset, finish these gens like they have here, and then grab their teammate and try to get the 4 out to maybe secure a win here.
Yeah, and I mean, looking at the point total there, definitely you would need to get Claudette unhooked in order to get the win here. That is your win condition.
We are probably going to see our survivors resetting over here.
Or just
unfortunately not. They are going to just take the 3 out and leave Claudette, which is really unfortunate for them because she was fresh hook. So even though Charlotte doesn't get all of the points because of the progressions, that is still, I don't know if Wrecking Crew made enough points here to take the win.
They did not. It was a 4-point difference to end the entire match.
And they definitely needed that last out to secure the win there. But I'm not going to lie, a 4-point difference is still pretty good going against a team as tough as Demise. So good job to Wrecking Crew.
For sure. I will note, actually, if Claudette wasn't the one to get hooked there and somebody else had, like, let's say the person who was on the hook initially, they would have gotten 3 points, but none of the progressions. And they would have gotten a bonus point for Claudette being a fresh hook out. So that actually may have resulted in a Wrecking Crew win, just leaving the one on the hook who was already pretty much, I mean, they were second state, progressing to death. Go ahead and let them progress to death and just get out, take the 3 out.
Yeah, I definitely think, again, this comes down to what we talked about before. It's really important for both teams to manage the hook count because getting that fresh hook survivor instead of sacrificing a survivor that had more hook states, I think you're right. I think they still could have pulled out the win there if they had made sure that Claudette was the one to get out instead of somebody else who had already been hooked twice.
Right. Yep, I would have to agree for sure. Definitely was a very good game to watch nonetheless.
Yeah.
And we will be waiting to see who's going to join the interrogation room there. So guys, if you have questions, make sure you put them in the suggestion box.
This is your last chance. Get in those suggestion boxes.
Yes, and while you guys go ahead and add to the suggestion box, a high five has been nominated.
Oh no. They like to see me suffer.
Nah.
Gotta make sure I'm facing the right way. Okay, and also not too far over because I think I had to like reach really far before. So, okay, cool. warm up my hands here.
You're just practicing the full arm extension, right?
Yeah, I'm
full
making
arm
sure
extension?
that I can actually reach, because I think last time I was all the way back here and couldn't reach, so I had to like scoot in.
Yeah, you were social distancing with your hand, and I'm like,
I'm sorry, I was trying to be safe. No. I was just trying to be safe.
I understand.
All right,
I understand.
Hands warmed up.
Yep, I'm ready. 1,
Okay.
2, 3. Oh, that was perfect.
I have to go a little early because there's a delay, just JP things. But yeah, absolutely. GG to both sides. That was a really exciting game to watch. And I love the games where we're kind of like on the edge of our seat in match 4, trying to see like who's going to win. Like when there's no clear favorites to win a match, that is my favorite kind of match to watch. So thank you guys to both teams for such fun, engaging gameplay. It was a joy to watch. And was very, very good matches there.
For sure. And we do have somebody in the interrogation room right now. We have Midas here. And let me make sure that it looks like Midas is muted. I'm going to check and make sure that's not a server mute on our boy Midas.
We did definitely just have our server reworked. So, might be a couple kinks, but we're working on them. If you guys are in our Discord and haven't noticed yet, we did have our Discord reworked, so make sure you go on in there and check out what we have for you guys. You can find the link if you type, I'm pretty sure, !Discord in chat.
I think that is correct. And Midas, how are you doing today, buddy?
I'm good.
Nice. All right. So, hey, definitely close match today. Were you guys stressed at all, like going through those matches?
Nah, not really.
Dang, over here, just like ice cold veins right here. Definitely walk us through that first match. You guys ended up actually bringing Ghostface and walking out of it with a fair amount of hook states, but not having the lead. What was the thought bringing Ghostface?
I think we all joined VC and we found out the map was groaning, and then someone was like, you should play Ghostface. And then Ultra was like, okay, I'll play Ghostface. And he played Ghostface.
I like the decision making, just like a man of the people, right?
Yeah, that's generally what we do for the most part. We just kind of play whatever we feel like playing the day of.
Man, I like it.
Nice. Yeah, it's nice that you guys are very confident in your killer pool. Is there any killers in particular that we could see from you guys that you guys are maybe are more of like a meme pick, or are all of your picks like, oh, we're confident enough that this will be like a good game?
I mean, like any of the weaker killers like Ghostface or Trapper or anything like that we pick, we're not necessarily like picking them because we think they're good. We kind of just pick whatever killer we feel like either watching or playing the day of, and today that was Ghostface, and then we realized that we needed something slightly stronger to make sure that we won, so we picked Twin. Obviously, we're saving Nurse Blight and Spirit for whoever we feel like we want to use Nurse Blight and Spirit against.
Very fair.
I have 2 uses of each of them left.
That's true. Definitely outside of Nurse Blight and Spirit, who else do you think deserves to be up there? Because personally, I felt like Twins is a good situational pick to have. Like, if you needed to like point starve another team, you bring Twins, as long as you have a really good Twins. That way you try to get the slugs and try to get a 4K early. But definitely you guys bringing Twins here as your stronger pick without consuming the S tiers. Who do you consider to be up there with Nurse and Blight?
Obviously Spirit, and then Twins is probably on certain maps is good. Twins on this rule set really shouldn't really be able to do much with how many perks are allowed. Banning healing perks generally makes Twins a little stronger, but here with everything allowed in a 1 perk 2BT format, Twins should be getting like 3 stages max. For the most part, our best killer other than that is probably going to be like one of the other stronger M1s.
Okay, so for sure that's definitely a good outlook for your team. I think we see other teams definitely think Twins can get that 4K often enough, and we've seen them come in with like a perk like Forced Penance to try to like drive that, like kind of what we see normally against Twins is a lot of body blocks, right? So we see teams try to bring something to fight against that, right?
Yeah, body blocking is obviously important. And then on top of body blocking, just positioning yourself well enough that Victor never really gets pressure on multiple people. Cleanse early, make sure that you don't leave ruin up so that you can leave for body blocks as often as necessary. And then, I mean, obviously a map like Groaning is massive. Twins really shouldn't be able to do much on Groaning. You can be extremely far away from each other and still be productive. On something smaller or something that is more of a choke point like Sofo Pit or ARP, Twins would be a lot stronger.
I would have to agree for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely, you guys came out and had a very good performance. Walk us through those Survivor matches, though. You guys performed very well with your coordination. How were comms?
I mean, Pinhead is something that we've practiced quite a bit because it was new recently, and it's something that we needed to get up to speed on. Generally, just Pinhead. I actually made a mistake in the Pinhead game because it's my job to keep track of box, and I was slightly slow with going for box at the end of the game, but it didn't hurt anything. Other than that, it's just a standard M1 killer. It's take hits, you loop the killer, and then once you can't loop the killer anymore safely, you call for someone to come help you. And that's all we did. We just kept doing that and maintaining pressure.
Yeah,
And
you guys
then,
had some very... Ooh, sorry.
on top of that, obviously Deadlock exists, so you have to be careful with how Deadlock pressures each other. So you might have noticed that we had a Gen 6, a Gen 7, and a Gen 3 being worked on to start the game. And we chose to 99 the Gen 7 and just leave it there so that that gen got repeatedly deadlocked.
Yep. And I actually had mentioned that for sure. Like, just that was the one that always got deadlocked, and then another gen popped as soon as the deadlock was gone, deadlocking that again. So there wasn't even an opportunity for the killer to pop it if the killer wanted to, because as soon as deadlock was off, it seemed like you popped another gen. Were you guys timing it that perfectly on purpose?
Yes and no. For the most part, no, but if it's something close, I do have a timer running for 30 seconds that I can just peek over at, and I just keep popping that timer each time a gen pops so that I know when deadlock's falling. I think there was one time in that game that we delayed one gen pop so that it wouldn't block someone else. Because I don't know, a deadlock, when a gen is already deadlocked, if you pop deadlock again, it will block a different gen. You don't want to accidentally block one of your teammates from progressing the game, so you have to be careful about that.
A lot of good info there. Shep, do you have any final questions for our guy Midas here?
I do have one question that actually came from one of our viewers. Hold on, I have to pull it up. Midas, Q-Top would like to know, are you the guy from Fortnite?
No, and I don't like Q-Top. Q-Top's rude.
Oh, no.
Fair. Very fair.
That's why Q-Top got ran for 3 gens last week.
Oh,
He says stuff like that to me.
Oof.
Oh, man. Definitely, you guys, Q-Top used to be on Demise, right? And then
yeah, me and Coin are homies. I'm just joking around.
Oh yeah, for sure. I definitely knew that was friendly banter.
Q-Top left to get a less rigorous practice structure because he has more stuff going on in real life, which I understand.
That makes sense. Definitely. Well, good luck to you guys in your future matches. Do you have any final things to say to the fans of Vigos?
Thanks for watching. And come back next week to watch us play again. Eventually we'll start using S tiers and then things will get really serious.
Ooh, so you're saying you're gonna make us wait? You're gonna make sure the suspense is here?
Well, we have a match against Demise at one point, and we already know that we're going to pop double S tiers against Demise because they're all our friends, and that's gonna be a very toxic match between us two, so we're definitely going to bring as much out in that game as possible.
Definitely. I'm ready for that. So from all of us here at Vigo's Court, we do see Demise convicted of murder versus Wrecking Crew here, and we will go ahead and adjourn the court. But before we do, we're going to be rating Little Rugard. So definitely make sure you show some love to Little Rugard when we go in there. Spam the Vigo's Court emotes because they're the best emotes on Twitch. And, you know, just meet us here more tomorrow and this weekend because we do have several games. This is not the end of week 5.
This is, in fact, just the beginning. So make sure you guys tune in. Keep an eye on our social medias, actually, because we do post on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter when we have games going on, as well as notifications in our Discord. So lots of opportunities. If you guys want to make sure you don't miss the rest of our schedule for this week, those are the places to ensure that you get those times. So please go ahead and type or go ahead and figure out what our socials are. There are commands for it, like ! Twitter, ! Instagram, to make sure that you can get updates where you want to get updates.
All right. And so from us here at Vigo's Court, court is adjourned.
Be safe, guys. We love you. Mwah!